I do agree on that. But when we talk about, I always think, when we talk about Thierry Henry, I don't know if you agree with that as well, Scholes, about Thierry Henry. Obviously, you played with some absolutely great players at United. But the point about Thierry was he only won 2 Premier Leagues. It wasn't like he won 6 or 7 like yourself. So, and we've always put him as, right, I think once you've won it once or twice...
6 or 7.
What did you win?
11.
Oh. Oh my God, this is going to go viral.
We'll get back to Scholesy and Carragher in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this clip, please like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And also, don't forget, if you've got something to say, if something is on your mind, please type away in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments. Well, in this clip, it's a little clip from the Overlap fan debate from today, and they are going to be discussing the greatest Premier League player of all time. And whenever these debates come up, the Big D is just flabbergasted at how, I don't know, delusional certain fans are. But anyway, we'll let you make up your own mind. Here's the clip, and stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is then going to be commenting on what's said in the clip. You know how this works. Here they are.
What more would he have to do to get a statue, though? Right? I mean, surely. And is it a foregone conclusion that he's the best player the Premier League's ever seen over Henry?
Does winning league titles as well? Sorry, just before that, does winning... Sorry.
No.
Try to define like the best player in Liverpool's history, which to me would still be probably Kenny Dalglish. But because he won the league so many times, and I know Mohamed Salah is he's brilliant. He's been an amazing player, and he's an amazing player now. But has he won the league once with them?
Yeah. And
I know Stevie didn't win the league either, but should that define? That's what I mean. Should that be the difference between the best and not the best?
I think trophies has to come into it. I do agree on that. But when we talk about, I always think, when we talk about Thierry Henry, I don't know if you agree with that as well, Scholes, about Thierry Henry. Obviously, you played with some absolutely great players at United. But the point about Thierry was he only won 2 Premier Leagues. It wasn't like he won 6 or 7 like yourself. So, and we've always put him as, right, I think once you've won it once or twice...
6 or 7.
What did you win?
11.
Oh. Oh my God, this is going to go viral. You know why I said that? Because yesterday on the TV, Roy's came up as 7. I just had that in my head. Apologies. That will never happen again. But I think once.
But that goes to show it doesn't matter how many league titles you win. Do you know what I mean? You can still be the best. Around. Yeah.
I think in some ways for Stevie at Liverpool, it wasn't because he never won the league, but it was always a case of he didn't play with those type of players, and he still. It was almost like a badge of honour.
Which is what I'm saying. You could probably say a little bit about Salah being a saying no, and I mean, well, look, it's going to be 2 this year. But again, they've had great teams to compete with. You think the City teams, that's why you can't define it, I don't think, by winning league titles.
Who would you say was the greatest player to play in the Premier League, and if we're talking about that? I've always had sort of Henry and then Ronaldo probably just behind, but I think Salah's gone past Ronaldo now, and it's a case of...
Salah ain't ahead of Rooney for me.
Salah ahead of Rooney?
He's not ahead of Rooney, and I think Cristiano Ronaldo... I think yesterday you said it's the best individual season. And I thought, let me go back and kind of refresh my memory on 07-08 Ronaldo. He isn't ahead of 07-08 Ronaldo for me either.
I think Ryan Giggs has to come into the... I know you might think it's all biased, you play with Giggs, you might, but what he did
I saw you do something the other day.
20 years.
You put him as... You've done your top 5 Man United players of all time.
Yeah.
And I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, for what he did, longevity, not just the longevity, but you've got to be a good player while you're doing that, you know what I mean? He changed from being that winger who just flying past people, the young player who got everyone off their feet and almost got the game and the crowd going. And then for the last 5 years of his career, he was central midfielder and was brilliant. What did he, how many leagues did he win? 13, I think. So I think he has to come in. 6 or 7, 13, so I think he has to come in that conversation. You know, we talk about Thierry. How many years was Thierry Henry? Yeah, I don't know. But winning 2 leagues. So again, I find it hard saying he
And no
only won 2
Champions
league
League.
titles, no Champions League, yeah, with Arsenal anyways. It's just, I'm stuck in between, you know what I mean, finding the best players, but the best players normally win titles as well. It's a difficult one.
Adam, it's interesting you say that because that's the season we remember from Ronaldo, and I you know, arguably that could be the greatest Man United team or season, maybe that sort of era of you know, Rooney and Ronaldo. But we only went off those numbers yesterday in terms of goals and assists. I know there's a lot more to the game than just numbers, but what were the numbers? Because I know Ronaldo got 40
he got
odd
42 goals and 8 assists in the Prem. I think it was 31 and 7. I think I'm getting the numbers just right. But I think when you look at the catalogue of goals he scored, you've got the goals like we saw against Porto where he scored from like 40 yards and the free kick against Arsenal, though I think that was a year later. There was a volley he scored against Fulham in the box, which was unbelievable, dribbling and shooting from the edge, headers. Like his catalogue of goals, he just scored all sorts of different kind of goals. And I thought Cristiano Ronaldo that season was just a joke. And to add to it, he was the three-peat. He won the league 3 times in a row.
Did he win the Ballon d'Or that season?
Sorry?
Did he win the Ballon d'Or while he was at Man United?
07-08, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big achievement, isn't it?
And he replaced Kaká, who was the holder of it, and he was competing with Messi. And I think you look at who he's competing with for the Ballon d'Or as well. I think that speaks volumes.
That's why I probably didn't bring him into that conversation, because it was 1 year. Do you know what I mean? Now, look, he was sensational for the amount of time he was there, but I think if you're going to talk about the best Premier League ever, it's got to be over a certain
He did it over
amount of
3
time.
seasons, because 07 he came back after the World Cup.
I know that, but that year was unbelievable. He was the best in the world at that point. I'm just thinking more longevity than... Not longevity, but at least
you're looking
6, 7, 8 years. Because he went to Real
Wazza,
Madrid, he'd probably give Real Madrid the best years of his
Mm.
career. Do you know what I mean?
But just because he got better and he was phenomenal at Real Madrid, that doesn't mean we should overlook what he did in the Premier League.
I'm not doing. But if he'd have been here for 7, 8, 9 years, then without a shadow of doubt, he would.
But in 3 years, he did more than Henry did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we want to talk about trophies and all that kind of thing, like, he eclipsed Henry in 3 years. Sorry.
Yeah,
I can feel James wanting to come in.
I was just thinking about that Ballon d'Or. I think Thierry was really unlucky not to win one. I think it was 2003 or 2004. Cannavaro won one. I think Nedved won one as well, and that was really Thierry's year. I think when you look at what Salah's doing now, it reminds me of Henry, I have to be honest. Like, Henry broke that assist record about 20 years ago. I think he got 21 assists, something like that.
De Bruyne got robbed, mate.
De Bruyne got robbed.
Don't get me started on that clip, honestly.
We'll come to you in a minute.
He's held that for some time, and he took the kind of the role of the, I suppose, centre forward or the striker to another level, added all these different elements to the game. And I think Salah's doing the same. Thierry in that period, kind of 2001 to 2004, I think was untouchable in the Premier League. Absolutely outstanding. I agree, actually, that is an Arsenal team that probably should have won more trophies than it did, and especially that Champions League in 2004, I think will always go down as a big miss. So it's how you weigh the individual talent against the accolades.
Mm. Again, that's only 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a good 3 years, though.
Yeah, brilliant 3 years, and it was fucking unbelievable. Yeah, of course he was. But for 3 years, you won him to the best Premier League player ever. It just...
Yeah, I mean, the longevity thing is interesting, isn't it? You know, I think Giggs is an interesting shout just purely for the period of time. Like, that's...
No, but it wasn't just a period of time, it's a quality with it as well. Yeah.
Me and Rory always banging on about it, because everyone seems to forget about Giggsy and kind of overlook what he achieved and stuff. And as it, like the different eras of the style of player he was, like you said, becoming a central midfielder. I think he was 40 years old, dominating teams in the Champions League, and that flying winger that he was early on was just phenomenal.
If you think of all these players that we mentioned, you think, who's the one you pick from the Premier League era to go into your team right now? And it's Harry Kane. I think it's probably Mo Salah. I think it probably is Mo Salah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a laughable.
Yeah, it wasn't that funny.
I don't think it's. I think
I think you'd take any of them, wouldn't you, Salah?
So I'll take it absolutely.
Gerrard,
any of them.
you'd
But I
take
think
any of them.
out of all of them, for the longevity, I'd probably pick Salah.
Oh, it's bad enough that people say that Thierry Henry is the greatest Premier League player of all time, let alone Mo Salah. Come on. And why are people like scared to say that Well, they always say, well, it's about weighing up the individual talent and the trophies and weighing that up. You know, it's hard. No, it's not. You've got to include trophies. Because that's what football's all about. It's about accolades, winning trophies. So how can you, assuming Liverpool win the league this season, which they probably will, how can you have a player like Salah or Henry, who've only won the Premier League twice, as the greatest player in the history of the Premier League? And they've been here long enough. I think David May's got more trophies than Thierry Henry at Arsenal. I don't know. But I'm not necessarily suggesting that David May is the best player in the Premier League. I'm just saying trophies matter. I don't get it. And Jamie Carragher's saying that Mo Salah's overtaken Ronaldo. Eh? Come on, mate. Good grief. I do like Jamie Carragher generally speaking, but that's an absolute clanger. Mo Salah is a world-class player. Fair enough. But he's not exactly up against world-class defenders in the Premier League these days, is he? Goodness me. It's almost as if it's the same with Virgil van Dijk. The way the Scousers go on about Virgil van Dijk and now Mo Salah, you would think they were talking about Pele and Paolo Maldini. It's nuts. Oh, hey. The Big D, I don't know. His nerves can't handle this sometimes. He really can't. And Thierry Henry, I'm sorry, but no. Thierry Henry was he's not the best player in Premier League history. He just wasn't. He was fantastic, but he wasn't the best. He just wasn't. Ronaldo was better. Rooney was better. I'd rather have Roy Keane in my team. And you can't choose the greatest. You can't not pick a Man United player. And I know, well, he's a biased Man United fan, the Big D. Well, yeah, maybe a little bit. No, the Big D's not biased. The Big D, his channel is about the brutally honest truth. And the brutally honest truth is Man United, you've got to give the devil their due. No pun intended. But Manchester United are the most successful team in the history of the Premier League. I mean, it was hilarious. They're all talking about the great players of the Premier League. Paul Scholes is just sitting there. And Jamie Carragher just shows you, like, you know, the delusion. And what did you, what did you win, Scholes? Is 6 or 7? And he's like, 11. So you've literally got one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen sat next to you, and he's coming out with that nonsense. It's like the lack of self-awareness is unreal. Even Thierry Henry has said that that Paul Scholes was one of the best. Zidane even said that Paul Scholes was the best midfielder in the world when he was awarded the Ballon d'Or or something like that, or European Midfielder of the Year or whatever. Oh, goodness, hey. McCullough is absolutely spot on. Ronaldo did more in 3 years than Thierry Henry did during his time at Arsenal, including the Ballon d'Or. And Ronaldo wasn't even at his prime at that point yet. He didn't hit his prime until he went to Real Madrid. And Wayne Rooney was better than Salah. And as I say, I'd rather have Wayne Rooney than Thierry Henry. I don't get these debates. But for me, the best player is Roy Keane. But does the best player have to be a goal scorer? It's Roy Keane. Roy Keane used to dominate teams. He used to dominate games. He was the captain. He won God knows how many titles. I think he won, 12 titles or something? No, maybe not that many. No, it wasn't that many at all. Did they say it in this clip? He won in 94, 96, 97. 99, 2000, 2001, 2003. So he won 7. 7. That's more than 3 times more than Thierry Henry. And he was the captain. And he dominated the Arsenal midfield at the time as well. The Big D's flabbergasted. What can he say? It's an interesting debate, though, and it is funny to see some of the comments that people come out with. Mo Salah, the best player in Premier League history. Behave! I'm going to use that in a joke later on this weekend. The lads will love it. Anyway, what do you guys think? I'm pretty sure I've done a video like this not too long ago, and that was funny as well. But this one, oh God, Scousers, eh? So delusional, so they are. Paolo Maldini and Pele in their team. Goodness me. But what do you guys think? Is the Big D wrong? Are those guys delusional? Maybe you think someone else. Maybe you do think it was Dennis Bergkamp or Cantona or Giggsy. You tell me, thoughts in the comments, as always, and the Big D will see you in the next one.